we, Julia?
That sounds really Italian.
Where are we? You're like, yes.
Julia.
Okay, I will answer the question then. We're here in the skate park of Geneva, skate park of Plampollet. That we're going to be speaking about anxiety. You seem like an absolutely non-anxious person.
Well, that's... it's a really bold statement.
Okay.
Because... Yeah, I mean, we cannot speak in absolute terms, I think, right? Because even if you're a very laid-back person, that's for sure you're gonna have anxious moments.
True.
But generally I'm not so anxious.
Actually, recently I've had like some fairly kind of maybe slightly more difficult times. So, in relation to that, I've had to like think about how to lower anxiety. So I came up with 5 things that worked for me. Just like I haven't created these, they're just things that I've tried, and some things that people have suggested are complete bullshit and other things are good. So the first thing that I tried, and everybody had suggested this to me for years, and they'd always been saying, oh, try this, and is meditation. Have you ever tried meditation?
Not really.
Why have you not tried? Like, have you heard that people...
Yeah, but I'm really open to it. I mean, I've heard people talking about it, and they make sense to me.
Okay.
Because the only reason I don't do it, it's because I think I'm not good at organizing my days in a structured way, doing everything, like, doing the same thing every day.
Yes.
For one thing, because my work shift change every week. But then, I'm not that kind of person either. But I think, it's something I would actually enjoy.
I think, but even it's true that you think about it like, oh, this is a skill that I should be doing every day, but it's not true. I just do it I do it, for example, 2 or 3 times a week, and again you think, oh, but how do I do it? I don't know this thing. My brother, he advised me an app. It's called Insight Timer. And there's probably hundreds of apps similar, but this app is amazing. You just choose it, and it's like a 10-minute routine. If you're just like a simple person like me, you just it's breathing exercises, and you just focus on your breathing, and you've got these soothing voices that are telling you that it's like going to be a nice day and all this stuff. And usually, I swear to God, at the end of a 10-minute thing, I feel significantly better and less anxious.
Well.
So, and actually, probably people in Asia have known this for like millennia about meditation. But here in the West, and I know science, I know this psychology, cognitive psychology, science, it's only over the past 10 years that they've started to approve meditation. Things to do with mindfulness and meditation, it's just over the past 10 years.
Very recent.
Yeah, very, very recent. There's many studies showing that what it does in the brain and how it helps you with like mental illness or anxiety, it's powerful. So it's been like scientifically approved.
Yeah, but what part of it do you think it's being mentally conditioned? Like, what part of it do you think it's that you're feeling better because you want this to really work? And what part of it is the fact that it actually works?
Like a placebo effect, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, but even again, it's not even if something works, it works. So then whether it works because you've convinced yourself or whether it works less, then to be honest, you just we're here looking for results,
I guess, again, but then can you recommend it to other people?
If it's scientifically proven, then I'm guessing it's not a placebo.
Yeah.
So then that. And also, even if people have some benefits because they think, I've heard that it's going to have all these benefits, and then they convince themselves that they feel better, but they really do feel better, that's also a result in my book.
Actually, yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're right.
You were like, I've got nothing to say about this.
Nah, I mean, whenever you mention scientifically approved, then that's something.
Nice.
I mean, it's a heavy argument. But yeah, I mean...
So meditation for me gets a 7.5 out of 10. Because it works. And
I think I would agree, yeah. No. Because it sounds important, but I wouldn't put an excellent grade to it.
No.
Because...
Already 7.5 is a lot. Yeah?
Yeah,
nice.
Sounds good.
So, just to show people a little bit more of Geneva, we're here in this square called Plampollet. So we're going to change location. The square is gigantic. We'll just see another part of the square. The square is it's weird. It's there's businessmen, but there's junkies and there's dealers and there's prostitutes and there's alcoholics, there's skaters.
There's the vegetable market too.
There's a vegetable market as well.
On some
Very
days.
important.
It is. I come here specifically to
Yeah?
get my veggies.
Ah,
yeah.
nice. Where's the next location? So next location could either be that weird ball thing over there. Okay, so we're here in the second location and still speaking about anxiety reducing strategies. The second one is role models. This is not scientifically approved, at least I don't know the science about this, but when I start to feel very anxious and like worked up about life, oh I need to do this, I need to do that, I think about one of my best friends, well it's a friend, and he's been downgraded within seconds.
That's what I was about to say.
But anyway,
I'm not a friend anymore.
I think about this friend and he's just so relaxed. Anytime that I start to feel very, very anxious and I need to do all this stuff, I think about this guy. How would he approach it? And he literally does not give a shit. He just doesn't give a shit. He just smiles, doesn't have a line in the face. He's just like happy, good-looking guy. Everybody loves him, and I just think that's amazing. And because then people think, oh, my role model should be somebody that I really, really respect. No, it should be somebody that's useful to you in a specific setting. So he, to me, I don't want to live my life like him. I want to care about the things I do. He just doesn't care. And but he's very useful to me, so I can pull him out in times and I can think, what would he do in this situation?
Yeah.
So what score do you give this technique?
It's like the technique of
Having a role model that's useful, that you can pull out in times. It could even be somebody famous, Johnny Depp or whatever the hell. Like, it could be somebody who cares, who doesn't care, but somebody who you think could help you, and where you could think, how would this person here deal with this situation that's making me up?
I'm not so sure about this one. I wouldn't rate it with a high number. I think maybe I would say a 6.
To be honest,
6 or
yeah. I think I would agree with you, because as much as I like to think about this guy when I start to feel anxious, I don't do it very often, and I think it'd be difficult to be really like methodical where you constantly go and you think about one person. So maybe there's a reason this one is just like created by me and not scientifically approved, but I would also give it like a 6.5. I think it can be useful, but I don't know if it really has a big effect. But so role models, like, yeah, 6.
6.
Okay,
I'd
nice.
say 6, yeah.
Anxiety strategy number 3. Strategy number 3, this third one is going to be ice. And this is something, ice.
Yeah.
So this is something that's becoming, I don't know, anybody's like, if you've seen even Novak Djokovic interview the person's called Iceman, you probably know about this already. Basically, the US military have known this for ages. They've been putting these Marines in ice water and they have to spend loads of time in there. And when you spend time in ice water, you honestly, just like when it touches your skin, all your anxiety just goes out the window. You stop feeling anxious. Have you heard this before?
Yes, and that I will have to say I completely disagree.
You completely disagree?
Yep.
With what?
With all of the ice theories. I mean, I'm a part of the audience, I would say.
Okay.
When somebody's doing that, it's like, you do your thing, I do mine. I mean, if it works for you, congratulations, that's great.
Okay.
But it reminds me of a friend that we actually went, it was, I think it was springtime. It was quite cold, and we went to this lake, and he said, yes, even if it's raining and it's freezing cold, I love to go into the lake and have a swim.
And then you got pneumonia.
Yeah, in my head, that's the only thing I can think of. Hypothermia, pneumonia, whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, but it's great for your blood circulation.
It's true. So I mean, it's like,
I don't do that.
Okay, but you can do it in a controlled way. You're absolutely right. I have friends that say, here we've got the lake in Geneva, and I know people that go all year round into the lake, and they tell me that even if they're feeling anxious, you walk into this water, and then you just like, you can't physically think about your anxiety, it just gets shut off. So again, here we're maybe speaking about people that have like higher levels of anxiety, that are willing to suffer basically to zero off that anxiety. And if you're not willing to like jump in a river or a lake or anything like this, you can do what I've been doing for about a year, which is to just have your normal shower, hot, medium temperature, whatever, your normal shower, and then the last 20-30 seconds you turn it to complete cold.
Wow.
Complete cold. And if you're lucky like me that you've got like a really old kind of shower, because the new showers, the technological stuff, that's like, maybe you can't get like freezing cold.
So having an old shower nowadays is being lucky.
Exactly. So if you have a shower that basically when you turn it to cold, it is no negotiation, complete cold, then that. And then you just like suffer, like maybe even shout for like 20 seconds, and just 20 seconds is enough. Then you come out, and any anxiety you've been feeling stays away for about 5-10 minutes, like guaranteed. Not a long time, but 5-10 minutes of like
complete peace.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
But would you consider or?
I wouldn't, because I would find it too painful for me.
It's good that even there's studies. This is like scientifically proven. It's like the science is just coming out now, to be honest, over the past year, that it even boosts your immune system. This is like really kind of like latest science. But it's specifically in terms of anxiety, I know that it does make me feel better, but I don't know if it really targets anxiety or if it just makes all yourself feel better. So for that reason, I would give it in between 6 and 7. I say 7 minus. I give it a 7 minus. I give it a 7 minus. But because it does work, but I don't know if it's just also this genetic feeling, as I said. And you?
I would be really mean in this. I would say a 2 out of 10. 2
out of 10. That's one thing that I absolutely failed at convincing you.
Yeah, that's how it is. Because I had a predisposition, I would say. I mean, if you come at me with a completely unknown topic,
yes.
But this, I got my opinion already built on it.
Okay. Well, they say learn to enjoy failure. I need to learn to enjoy this. So we haven't moved far. We need to be honest. We moved like 30 meters.
Yeah,
50 meters.
that's it.
But actually, we forgot to tell people, and it's really important. There's the huge Frankenstein. It's beautiful, a Frankenstein statue. But Frankenstein walked past this square, this area, this probably the potato field, back in the story, because Mary Shelley wrote it here in Geneva. So the beast came out of the lake. Well, I don't know the story, it's on my to-read list, so I'm not going to pretend to know it, but I think the beast came out of the lake in Geneva, and it walked along this square, and it went up to a mountain over there. But anyway, so there's a nice monument of this, of the beast walking, Frankenstein walking along here. Yes, we were talking earlier, it's quite a touching story as well, because it didn't want to be alive. The second part of the book is all about from the monster's point of view. So now we're going to speak about the fourth technique, strategy to lower anxiety. So if you're an anxious person like myself, you might consider visiting a shrink. And people think, come on, what kind of strategy is that? And it's like, And that's like
The
totally
most
taken.
essential one, I would say.
Maybe you seem to know like to be kind of pro shrink. So
Definitely. Like, the only thing that I find hard with the fact of getting access to psychotherapy is the cost. And that happens everywhere. It doesn't matter the country or like, yeah, it's just so expensive. And even with countries that have a public health system, like in Spain, for example, then you don't get access to a proper shrink. Like, you get 30 minutes a month
okay.
with a professional.
But that's amazing. So the Spanish government actually gives you.
Yeah. I mean,
That's nice.
public health, that's such an important concept, but 30 minutes a month is nothing.
So I tried this stuff like maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, and yeah, it was just a moment where I had this like a lot of kind of anxiety inside, and I thought, let's try and get a professional that knows how to deal with this stuff. And instead of it being this kind of mess inside you, maybe this person could help you like locate it and chop it down into different aspects. And the problem was that I think if you met the person face to face, it would be better. I decided to be a bit cheap on that side, so I organised it online through Zoom, which is probably not great. I found a person in Italy, and again, maybe I just found somebody who wasn't great, and it's probably difficult to find the right person.
That's true. I think you have to be lucky.
If you had to vote on basically a shrink helping people as basically a shrink targeting anxiety.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. I would give it. I would give it a 7 probably, or like in between 6 and 7, just because I had like a negative experience, or like not negative would be wrong, but it just wasn't great.
Okay.
So
No, yeah, it obviously depends on what you've seen, what you've witnessed, but I think, especially reading papers too, because it's not until the recent years that people are starting to get the stigma out of this.
absolutely, that's true.
That research is being
So
made,
true.
and not only research, but also people speaking openly about these things
Yeah.
and making you aware of it. I think reading about that
You're so right.
made me see.
Probably even a few years ago, even just somebody saying like me, "Oh, I visited a shrink" or something like that. Yeah, true. That
It
would
wouldn't
be-
happen.
So we do the last one, and we can do the last one over by the church. Yeah, you've been wanting to go to the church all day.
Yeah, I mean.
Nice. So we're here at a church in Geneva, just here on the opposite side of this the square, Plan Palais. We'll just let this gentleman pass. For sure. And this is church, this is a university, blah blah blah. Some nice trees. Okay. Fifth strategy to decrease anxiety. You know what I'm going to say?
Yep.
The gym. But by gym I mean just like physical activities.
Yeah,
more
physical. Yeah, I would say that.
physical activity. So, well, maybe a tiny thing that you need to consider is that obviously if you're feeling very anxious, motivating yourself to do physical activity can be, it's probably especially hard at times.
Do you think so?
I'm just trying to think about everybody's point of view. I know some people can feel like, especially if they feel low, they can feel very lazy. It just makes sense.
Yeah, actually, yeah. But at the same time, some people really do it naturally. I think
Sure.
when you're feeling anxious, you're like, yeah, I need to. If you're looking for solutions, I really need to move. I need to do something to get the thoughts out of my mind. So physical activity is gonna help me with that.
No, absolutely.
I've heard that.
Yeah, and it's like the science behind this is massive. Like you do physical activity, it releases, you probably heard these things, serotonin, dopamine in your head, it releases all these things that level out your mood and make you feel a bit more balanced and make you feel good. And so going to the gym, and or for me it would be playing football with my friends, then that's really, really big things. And the thing that I heard was that, I don't know what you think about this, that I think it was Matthew McConaughey, he said that before he does physical exercise, all his anxiety and problems, they're like stacked up one on top of his head, like that, vertical. And after you've worked out, you have the same, like they don't go away, the same problems, they still exist, but you see them horizontally. Like you
One
see
after
them-
the other.
Yeah, one after the other, and you can actually see them rather than like pressing down on your head. And I love that. Like to me,
It's a
it makes
really
total
good
sense.
metaphor.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a visual metaphor.
I
Makes a
always
lot of
like when
sense.
you like when I've won you over, like yeah,
When you see it in my face, that I got.
exactly.
Yeah.
So no, I'm like, I mean, forget about all the stuff that people say, like go to the gym, it's all for muscles, for like superficial stuff. That's bullshit. It's like the psychological benefits that you feel from like working out or playing sport. For me, it's just the main thing.
Definitely. Yeah.
So how much would you give physical activity?
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. I give it a solid. I think I'd be 8 as well. I even more actually, 8.5.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't make a lot of a difference, I think.
It does to me.
But,
I'm a
okay.
numbers person.
I see.
I've become a numbers person.
It should be.
So that's nice. So basically, let's do a recap. Meditation,
Yep.
and we thought meditation was good. I know you hadn't tried it, so meditation got quite a high score, medium high.
Then
we
therapy too.
Now we spoke about second role models.
Oh, role models.
We both thought it could help, but maybe not too solid. Third one was ice, so like ice shower. I know you were completely against this one, and instead, like to me, short-term benefits of ice, very very effective. Then we spoke about the shrink,
Yep.
and I thought you gave it a 10 out of 10, massive, and I gave it, because I had a slightly negative experience, so in between 6 and 7, and then physical exercise where we both agree,
Yeah. Pretty,
8, 8.5. Nice. I think that's everything from us.
Yeah. So,
So happy.
you know, I really don't like this
Sorry.
fist thing. I mean, isn't there anything more? I don't know what.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Or like.
I'm just copying you. Just tell me.